Jose Marti is a major poet and leader of our country, that all of us Cubans, no matter where we're from, recognize Jose Marti as our cultural and political leader.
We've had for many years this wonderful, beautiful statue of Jose Marti, an important poet in Cuban culture and to all of us who like poetry.
But Marti is the one who made the miracle to unite all the Cubans here. And in February 1895 was the one who really finally came with the last word, which are the last of independence.
The bust is in bronze and the base is in marble. And one of the letters in there, you see in front is his name, Jose Marti. It's a bronze relief sign. It's like when he signed all his letter, it's the same calligraphy.
Este diseño lo concebí exactamente en enero del 1969, cuando estaba preso político, al salir de la cabaña en una granja, otro local donde ponen los presos. Por aquí exactamente la línea de la mejilla. Y si tú pones un dibujo, un retrato de Martí natural sobre este, te darás cuenta que exactamente la fosa nasal es el ancho de esto y que el ojo está situado exactamente aquí y que el pelo tiene esta dimensión.
Products that they did before, they're showing us so we can keep it going on to little kids.
So we're going to give it a little time, and it's going to be longer than we're used to. This year, in cooperation with a number of groups, including a group that bears the name of Jose Marti, we put this together with the Cultural Affairs Department, and I'm thrilled.
And we wanted to try to do something to try to recognize the incredible contribution that Cubans, Americans, make to this region, both cultural contributions. There's a lot of Cuban Americans and Cubans in all of the different cultural industries in this city, and also commercial contributions that make a major contribution to the economic development of this city. So this festival is a recognition of that community and that culture, and just a way to have fun and a way of showing just another of the many wonderful cultures that we got in this city.
Mostly getting to know the customs of the people, getting to know that this is such a diverse city and people that never knew anything about maybe the food for the Cuban culture or any of the other cultural differences. Now there are no difference. Now we are coming together and getting to know each other through these festivals. It's a wonderful, wonderful avenue.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You know, the Patronato Jose Marti is an institution, it's a Cuban institution that is only cultural. We always commemorate the birth of Marti in January. We bring speakers and things of that sort. We do expositions of painting. It happens that my wife is now the president of the Patronato, you know. The music of Cuba that is best known is popular music, you know. All kinds of popular music and traditional music and even commercial music, which has traveled the whole world, you know. It's a very famous part of Cuba, of course. And people identified Cuba many times through the music, you know, the rhythmic activities and so forth, which has also influenced American music to a great deal. You can start by the 19th century, you know, the contradanzas and the danzas that come from Spain, and it's a mixture of Spanish music, later the Afro influence of the black slaves, you know, that make a tremendous, wonderful mixture, you know, and then at the turn of the century, they are already very clear dance elements, you know, the song, the dance song, you know, the old forms of the dance that have been changed. Now you're going to the 20th century, then you have all kinds of things, you know, boleros and songs and dance songs, and finally rumba and mambo and all the more actual forms of the music, you know. What they call salsa, which in reality is just a dance song mixed with cha-cha-cha, with some other elements, you know, and so forth.
I was nominated by the Patronato Jose Marti to direct and collect the Cuban painters in all Los Angeles. And it was a pleasure to present here in this exhibition the work of 14 Cuban painters. They are from different parts of the Los Angeles area, and also they are from different parts of Cuba. One from the Occident and the other from the Orient. Now, so it's a variation of technique, variation of personality.
It's a neat thing, you know, when artists can get together, whenever we do something like this, because we kind of work by ourselves and don't get a chance to see each other and hang out. All these sort of things are always fun. Do a lot in the city. Yeah, this one's called The Rage of Enlil, which is kind of loosely based. It's kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing on Zecharia Sitchin's theory that extraterrestrials created us. It comes from the Enuma Elish of the Mesopotamian civilization. And this one is called the Oriches, which are the Afro-Cuban gods. But it's kind of once removed because I left Cuba when I was only 2 years old. So it's kind of analogous to Henri Rousseau painting jungles in the middle of Paris. You know, it's just a fantasy of mine of what the Oriches might be like. Without getting too close to just African stuff.
Well, Cuban food, what we have is plenty. We have the tamales, which is made with corn, and we do have like this type of a sliced steak, you know, very marinated with garlic, and then we fry it with oil. Then we have the choripan. It's a Spanish-style chorizo, cooked, and we put some onions in there, We also do have the pan con lechon, which is some bread with pork meat in there, Cuban style, with a mojito, some garlic again, and everything like that. We sold everything out except your some tamales. We might have about 200 left. They're going to go in an hour.
The Cuban sandwich is made with Cuban bread, Swiss cheese, deli ham, and pork, roasted pork, with a little Laios mustard, that's it. It's a simple thing. The more important part is this, the grill.
Well, what we're doing here is a festival in the name of Jose Martin. What this is a competition of dominoes. What we have here is a variety of different Cuban clubs within the Southern California, and we get together every so often. And what we do is we get together and we compete for a trophy. And just to get the Cuban community, keep the culture within our families and our children, and instill that strong sense of, as some people say, Cubanism installed there. It's a traditional for old Cuban men back in Cuba, in the farms. This is what they used to play for fun. Usually you see people smoking cigars and drinking Cuban coffee and so much, but they eliminated a lot because a lot of the older people don't like to smoke.
And they, of course, we got this Cuban event here, and they invited us to show off how one of the crafts from Cuba, obviously, is cigar rolling. So we got our 4 best Cuban cigar rollers, and we're using South American tobaccos, and it's created quite an interest, I think.